yet? No, there it is.
There we go.
No, I was just waiting to make sure it was all working. All right, welcome back to the Ideal Bowling Concepts Open. This is a champions interview from East Providence Lanes in East Providence, Rhode Island. Again, a big shout out to Mike Sodoma. I love the buzzing sound of the vacuum cleaner.
No, they're vacuuming.
They're vacuuming. They're cleaning.
Keep this place
Getting after it.
So, Adam Zimmerman,
Thank
not only do you win the tournament, you win the Paul Forry Memorial Cup, you just took home all the cash. I couldn't even tell you what you got.
Thank you.
Congratulations, second NEBA title, both
Yeah.
in this building.
Not
Not good for.
Whoa.
No.
You've got
Where'd you, you want Cranston?
In Cranston with Andrew.
Okay, I was going to say to you because that's not good for Hall of Fame stuff. You can't win. You don't want to win the same building too much. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Very impressive. I mean, the title match started out pretty.
Yeah, they were funky.
Funky's probably a good word. I was going to say didn't start out well. It was so bad that we started asking people to pick the score
I don't blame you.
because we were like, this is not going well.
Yeah, we put up some interesting numbers.
A couple people did get to 200.
There were two, my wife and Stephen Transu.
Yeah.
I think you said there was another guy with 211 or something.
Yep. I have one question
Sure.
in this interview. I just need your thinking on, after 4 frames, what the hell was going through your mind and what made you switch it? We were trying to guess what it was, and then we finally figured out it was a dark code.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, the start, and then what made you go into the dark code.
Sure. Well, I was thrown to Zen, and like every pair, it seemed to be where it's just whether or not your ball got through the front part of the lane or not. And the Zen, it was getting there, but it wasn't going through the pins the right way that I wanted it to. Like I flat end, 4-pinned, and then I threw one bad. And I'm like, deep down, I was like, I know I can move further left but throw a bigger ball, like a bigger shiny ball, and see if it'll still get through it, but then go through the pins the right way, which the dark code ended up doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good guess, I guess.
It was a heck of a guess.
Pretty smart guess because the match ended real quick.
Yeah.
Because in the middle of the match, we're like, this is going to be like a 140 to 150 match. And,
Yeah.
And then you lit them up for the triple,
Yeah,
four
four
or five bagger. When you got the double, we're like, okay, he can see what happens when he gets back up. And then, that was impressive.
Thank you. My only worry was if I was going to stone 9, really, because it was just creating that much angle at that point.
There was a lot of angle there.
So I kind of made a logical guess, and it worked.
That was a good guess, man, because, I mean, you really put the match away, and, I mean, it was kind of really no looking back, and poor Tyler, like, just he had no look. So, hey, man, good for you. It was a hell of a ball switch, man.
Thank you.
Good job there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And you made it off your morning squad, I'm assuming? Right?
Yes. Yep.
Nice bowling. What'd you think, obviously, the pattern? Do you bowl nationals?
I do.
Did you bowl that particular year? 2021, it was where one team bowled on a pair of lanes for the COVID
Yes,
year.
I did. Yes, I bowled 630 in team.
I shot 130 out of the gate in team.
I remember
Somebody asked me for advice yesterday. I go, you're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I said, and if I didn't make a ball change, I wasn't getting to
You
100.
you had flying elbow that year, though.
It was
more than
bad.
anything. You had flying elbow.
You could tell
that
there
year.
wasn't much bowling going on.
Yeah.
It was bad. So, but yeah, it was. And I tried. We talked about this from the start, and actually Alex wasn't in. Jeremy and I talked about this, and Jeremy doesn't bowl nationals a lot, but
Yeah.
I said I think the difference is the building. We'll just start with the building, the track hooks. Of
course.
Skip that part of the building. When you bowl team event, the better teams will work together, and they would have burned the outside of the lane. When
Yeah.
you're bowling a singles event, people are going to go where they feel comfortable, so they're not going to be committed to playing 5, 6, 7. And burning it up.
And then jump left.
So the problem was you have a guy like Eddie Roberts who tried playing there.
Yeah, it ain't going to happen.
And he had an okay look, but now he misses left a couple, and because the track hooks and everybody else is left of the track, you're just in jail.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
So
I would say
mean,
the
so
people
is
with
that
a
what you
low-
probably noticed? Is like obviously at nationals when we bowl team event, at some point everybody beat up to the right, and then we just go and you have free hook.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
in, just
You didn't have
throw
free
it
hook to the right.
Not really.
We saw a 2 count today. We saw a couple 2 counts actually. I think we saw.
I definitely saw a couple of 2 counts. I mean, there was a lot of, like, if you got behind the pattern, you had no chance.
Yeah, I 2-8-10'd a decent amount of times. It was pretty easy for me to do so, actually, considering how far left I was.
Yeah, you had to get it around the front of the lane.
Yeah.
Is that what you felt?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to create angle to create hold is what it felt
Yeah,
like.
I agree.
Angle through the front typically creates hold in this building. It's usually what it does.
Yeah. So like I said, so when people were talking about it, and also the pattern like for qualifying, obviously had a lot of games bowled that you don't see in team event at national. So the
Yeah.
pattern was made for a 3-game set, not made for a
10-game.
10-game set,
man.
and people playing everywhere.
Oh, I am very fortunate I made it off the first squad. I'm happy with that because if I had to navigate this building,
I
the
feel
second squad.
The second squad was the same thing. I mean, I went to, you watch me bowl. I throw a pin down, hustle wine. I went out to the car. I'm like, I got to try something different. And it actually, that ball doesn't barely hook, and it still hooked a lot.
There was loads of friction. You saw it. We were, us one-handers, we got to try to do things a little different than you guys.
Yeah.
But we try to like get our tilt down and kind of.
We were trying to spin it, and I said that's one thing you
front.
guys can't do a lot. But obviously, you get a lot. You're able to create a lot of axis rotation, which gets it
Yeah.
to bounce. You can get the bounce outside further than we can get.
Correct. What I said to him that I noticed about you today after kind of watching you bowl a couple rounds is how you use your forearm more than
Push.
most two-handers.
Yeah.
Like most two-handers don't use their forearm to kind of push it.
Let it go. Yeah.
And you do that, and I was like really watching. Like I see you throw shots, but I never really pay attention.
Sure.
But actually paying attention today, I said that to him. I'm like,
Yeah,
pushes it like off his forearm. I'm like, that's
Yeah, you push the ball good, which
very
is what I
unique.
recommend.
So, and you create such, you can create such angle through the front, and get it to hook back from where most guys aren't going to get it to hook back from. So that was pretty awesome watching that today.
It was
Thank
pretty fun.
Thank you.
Any shout-outs you got? Obviously, your parents. First of all, I want to
Yeah.
give a shout out to your parents.
Your
'Cause
dad's
your
been
pop-
bouncing around back and forth.
Your
I
pops,
love it.
Your pops was in. He might have been more game mode than you were in bowl
He,
last
he
night.
probably was.
Yeah,
he
he
probably
looked-
was.
he was
He looked
focused.
like Vince Lombardi on the sideline.
Yeah, he was focused.
Yeah.
All he needed was a top hat and a tie, and he would have been Vince.
He was pacing, and he was. I said, yeah, like fifth, sixth frame when you threw the double. I'm like, he's got game face on.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to watch when you got
So,
your parents here, dude. It's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
So.
massive shout out to them. I mean,
Nice.
they travel every weekend, basically.
They do. I see your parents every time there's a NEBA.
Yeah.
Especially your father.
It's kind of crazy that they travel all the way, but I'm here for
Are you an
it.
only child?
No, I have an older brother.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
You must be the favorite. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to East Providence. I mean, of course, the bowling center is phenomenal. They run a great.
Wow. And they picked
Great
up our
event.
event. I'm not sure if you know. I'm sure you do from
Yeah,
Andrew, but they
yeah.
picked up the event. 3 weeks notice, 2.5 weeks notice.
Yeah.
So we got to give a huge shout out to them for
Huge
that.
shout out to them and NEBA, of course. I mean, it wouldn't be possible, and you, for running this Paul Forry thing. That's incredible. It's incredible. So.
Well, thank you.
I've said that for 2 rounds. It's pretty awesome as a bowler. I mean, we don't get stuff like this too often.
it's
Where somebody
incredible.
just says, here's 10,000. I'm just going to let you guys bowl for
And he's
it,
going to
you
do
know?
it again. He's going to do it again. So you can't miss
Sick.
it.
We'll try it one more time.
Can't miss it. It's going to be awesome.
Maybe you can cash a little higher this time so you're not out 9,700.
Yes. I went to the crap table. It's like us at the crap table in Norwich after the old PBA stops.
Oh, my God.
Vacuum cleaner coming out.
Play the don'ts. And there's Ed Roberts in the corner just playing the don'ts while all of us are,
Oh,
God.
I remember those days. But go ahead,
Yeah.
continue. We didn't mean to cut you
Oh,
off.
no,
Yeah.
good. And all the sponsors that sponsor NEBA, that makes everything possible. I mean, you guys are awesome. Just
I think Becky said it best when she said on the microphone before announcing the cuts and everything. She said that sometimes I feel like, and this is nothing, you're a young bowler, so you get it because obviously you're around Bruce and all that. But I feel
Yeah.
like sometimes our younger generation, because they haven't been bowling NEBA like we have, where we didn't have anything. And then Violet and I stepped up and became the first sponsors. But before that, there was not. You had what you had.
You had what you
Yeah.
had, and you bowled for each other's money, and that was it.
Yeah. So.
But
yeah,
what
so
this
fix
is,
it.
and you guys don't see it, obviously, with the strength of balls now in the lanes, we used to get here an hour early in the
And
morning.
practice. We used to
And
burn the
we-
lanes up before we
We
even
would
bowled.
destroy
One
the
lane.
lanes.
One lane might get beat up.
You'd have like 7 guys on one lane all throwing balls, and then Ed Roberts with a plastic ball. I'll never
Oh,
forget.
my.
We used to practice, but you know what it was? It
It was a
kinda became
camaraderie.
it was camaraderie. Everybody came in. You kind of hopped around. You threw a couple dollars on the table, and then
Yeah.
somebody went and paid for the lanes.
You hope the bowling center was nice and just rolled the dial back, the meter.
Yeah, I mean, we used to do that kind
Yeah.
of stuff, and so the older guys and the ones even older than me, like the
Oh, yeah.
Riches and
Oh, exactly.
Stokes and all
Stoke,
them,
Bogosian, yeah.
Bogosian, all of them older, those 55, getting, those 55 guys.
Yeah.
They all remember those times. I was a young kid, I was your age, and I get to come in and like everybody would practice and.
Yeah, you just jump
like,
on a pair.
You jump
you
on.
found your
and
group.
just throw a few dollars, like I said, throw a few bucks down and go. But again, this tournament has always been about good camaraderie. And, you know, we mentioned it earlier that, you know, like now you look at it, it's like you and Andrew and all the
new
kids.
group, a new
Hunter,
breed.
all the kids. You guys all kind of hang
And we need
out.
you.
And you build it, and then us older guys,
we see it. I said it. We talked about it here when you were winning. I said, look at while the match was going. I said, the young bucks. I said it when I lost to Steven. It's going to be harder for us to win, and we get it.
It is.
We realize it, but you guys. But the club's in good place.
Passing of the torch
exactly.
is what it is.
The
It
club
happens all the time.
The club is in a good place. I hope the club gets it to where my son, he's bowling, and he gets a chance to bowl these things.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I wish my girls bowled.
That's my goal. My son, you know, he bowls a little bit, but you guys are the future, and that's part of the reason why I do the things I do. I know why Alex supports the club, because we love it so much and we want to see it continue.
We definitely want to see it continue. This club is 60 years old.
Yeah.
The guys before him and the guys
absolutely.
before, you know, the guys that started this, like, nice vision they had, you know. They had a nice vision of a club tournament, of something to bowl every month, and it turned into what it is now. And again, just like some other, you know, I just think that there's so many tournaments to bowl now.
Yeah.
There's a lot to choose from. But the core of bowlers is still here.
But I think it's our job as the elder statesmen to educate the younger guys on what NEBA really is about. And it just happens.
Doing a good job.
Because when I came in, I just thought it was a tournament. I'll be honest, I started bowling, I thought it was a tournament. He started the same way. And gradually over time, I began to realize, and for me, I would say that Bill Webb was the most important guy for me. Because when I started hanging out with Billy, and he started explaining to me what NEBA is about. Now, he grew up, his dad used to bowl and all that. So when he kept on pushing on me that NEBA's, we come bowl, but it's more about being together.
No,
and he stresses that every time. Whenever you talk to him.
I'm getting there.
You guys got it. You're little. You guys, it's getting younger, and that's how things survive.
That's a great thing.
It survives by getting younger. And if it was a bunch of, you know, 60-plus
if we didn't see you guys, I'd be really worried.
We'd be in trouble. But you guys, it's your time to shine, boys, is what it is.
Yeah, it's your time to carry the club.
Thank you. I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to even be a part of it. So,
well, like I said, we're great to have.
You're going to be just fine, kid. You're going to win. You're going to win your hand. You're going to win enough of these things.
Hope so.
As you can see, they're not easy. So.
No, they are not. They are not easy.
So our job is trying to still make it hard for you guys.
I'm going to try my best to keep it difficult for you.
We're going to try.
How old are you?
24.
Yeah.
So I told you. I think I said like 22 to 24 ranges.
It's crazy. I think Tyler's a little older.
Tyler's
probably
about 28.
Yeah, 28, 7.
27, 28 probably.
I mean, Steven can't be more than 25.
Yeah, Steven's younger than me, I think.
Just the Final Four, you're looking, you're like, Jesus, these kids. They're kids. Billy's the oldest guy at 35
I said Billy's probably about 35-ish.
Yeah, Billy's in that 35 range. But you look around, like I told him in Auburn, myself, Litch, Webb, and Viali were all standing at the front door while match play was going on.
Wow.
They were just starting match play. And I said to him in Auburn, I'm like, look, boys, see this? I even took a selfie in there, and I said I was going to post it at some point and just said, we don't bowl finals anymore. You know, the kids are just taking over. And
I used to always say is when I first started watching NEBA, I used to back guys in NEBA before I was allowed to bowl, and I would go, and I would be able to pencil. I tell people, if I took a piece of paper, I write down 48 names. I could bet you 32 of those guys are going to be in the finals every week. And at some point, it just revolves. You get that part of that group changes over, a new group comes, and now we're at that. You guys are now, as we. I made 50% of the cuts this year, and it was a struggle. As we get to this point, we're going a little bit the other way, and you guys
making a way.
Exactly. It's just gonna inevitable. I mean, it's no different than the PBA tour or something like that. So
listen, the game has evolved.
It has to.
I'm looking down there and I'm watching the open bowlers. I've seen two people throw balls, and they're both throwing with either no thumb or two hands. The game is evolving, and I'm not, got to be honest, like, I've said it before, whatever about two hands, but I have to embrace it. Like, it's no different than when Mark Roth came in and started twirling it, and people had said, oh, what's this guy doing? This will never be any good. And next thing you know, he changed the game.
Yeah.
The guy literally changed the game and how people played the game.
Yeah.
And your generation's doing that now. Belmo and Osku, them guys started it.
People almost forget Osku made a show before Belmo.
I remember U.S. Open show.
U.S. Open, but people forget that. But when Belmo made it, that was the
Big
home
thing.
run. Yeah.
I'm just looking down there, and again, a lot of 2 hands, 2 fingers, and they're all people throwing house balls down there because they see it. It's, you walk through the building, and all of a sudden you see this dude take it with 2 hands and go like this, or 2 fingers, and their ball hooks like this. Yeah. That catches your eye. Remember the old saying, chicks dig the long ball.
I always say chicks dig the big hook.
And that's kind of what it is. It's like, you get people that just walk by, and something's got to catch their eye. And you're going to make somebody spin their head, not Chris.
No.
Not me anymore. You. At one point, I could because I could make a hook like that. Now it's you guys. You guys
my ball
have
used to
a
hook,
chance.
not anymore.
You guys have a chance to really make the game explode at a different level.
When somebody comes in to get fit.
And I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility. It's your generation's responsibility. And I'm going to say this again. It's your responsibility, young man, and your generation to get these people to bowl.
It's pretty much what I said my father taught me. And I say this every time I give a speech at a NEBA, the Hall of Fame dinner, whatever I got to do my things I got to do. And I said it yesterday, my thing. My father told me one thing. You give back to the sport to give you so much. In my case, I can give back a little financially. But that doesn't always mean it that way.
No.
Giving back, my father didn't have the funds to give back. He gave back in different ways. But my father gave back by promoting a sport that gave him things that he never had he didn't think he'd have an opportunity for. Yeah. And it comes down to, like I tell people all the time, go to your local, when people go, well, I can't give back. Go to your local center on Saturday morning and help out.
Well,
or
let's go.
Let's skip that.
Yes, I agree with that, but USBC has also made it difficult to do that.
But my point is, though, you can do it off on different ways too.
I agree.
Yeah,
but
make an impact.
Teach anybody to bowl. Exactly, make an impact of trying to get people to bowl.
Yeah.
The whole thing. It's the old pyramid scheme. Get one person to bowl, and they all get one person to bowl. It's something. When did you? We're supposed to be interviewing you. We're kind of talking away. But my question is, when did you pick up a bowling ball?
First when I was 4
or 5.
3, 4.
Did you put your thumb in the ball at one point?
Never.
You just started
from the start.
From the start was two-handed.
From the start. Bowled my first youth tournament when I was 6.
So who is your dad a bowler?
Yeah, whole family, brother
everybody
included.
Bowls.
Yep.
So obviously your father puts his thumb in the ball.
Correct.
There's no way he's two-handed.
Left-handed.
No.
Well, we have a problem.
Yeah.
So he puts his thumb in the ball, and did he see? My question is, because I'm always curious of how guys like you become two-handed. Because your parents bowl.
Because you're pretty young, so that's different. I mean, you started so long ago that two-handers weren't around yet.
My two-handers weren't around, and my dad bowled. And
his case.
Yeah, but
you said you started when you're 5, 6 years old. There were no two-handers really then.
Yeah.
So, did Dad say throw it with 2 hands, or how did that come about? Did Dad push you to do it?
I kind of just from the start.
Let's ask Dad. Come here, Dad. Come over here for a second. When your son started bowling. You were a bowler at one, obviously.
Hey, there you go. You can jump in.
Did you encourage him to bowl with 2 hands, or did he just do it? He just did it.
I actually wasn't strong enough to hold the ball.
That's what she just said.
So I kind of picked it up and just threw it.
Perfect.
Then, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you threw it overhand too?
That's even
when I was
better.
very little, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So there was never an urge on your part to get him to go put his thumb in the ball and throw it traditionally.
No.
Yeah. Put that on. Talk in there.
You just got to pull the microphone up.
Pull that up.
There you go.
When he started, he had some initial success. And then it became a point where, considering his age, I didn't want to make any changes for fear that he would resist the changes.
I have a son that does that.
So I left him alone at two-handed. And then, to be honest with you, the rest is sort of history.
Well, you started seeing more of it, so you probably didn't think it was a weird thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so funny thing. This is so much funny. Christian's 8, and because he's around Parker and more traditional bowling, we try to get Christian to bowl two-handed. You know what my son says to me? Well, he used to say to me when he was like 5 years, 6 years old, that's not how it's done.
Wow.
And now, obviously he got to travel to a lot of tour stops last year. So he gets to be around like Simons, and the guys are really cool around my son. I got to give him credit. The tour guys are really good around my son. And then a couple times he was like, "Oh, Dad." After the show's over, he'd go out and throw a ball, and he's like, "Can I throw two-handed?" I go, I'm okay however you want to bowl. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it, and he'd do a couple times, but he still only bowls one-handed. But I think it comes down to, like, you didn't try to change them. So Christian, a couple times I'll be like, why don't you try two-handed? And he just always goes back to putting his thumb in, which I'm okay with too, because I still think there's like we talked about. I think there's a skill to putting your thumb in. There's still some things that you have. There's a benefit I do think on some things to putting your thumb in the ball.
And you know, I'll tell you that at the higher levels of bowling, like in this club, most of the one-handed bowlers get out of that ball pretty clean.
Yeah.
So the higher up you go, and where the games are better, there tends to be less having to be said about the two-handed game.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, to me, bowling's bowling. I was always taught the idea is knock 10 pins down.
There you go. That's the
Well,
objective.
this is, you know,
I've seen the Taipei spinners, and I know some guys, when I went to see the Taipei spinners, they were like, that's not bowling. I'm like, there's no rule that says how. I mean, there are rules, but the object's to knock them down.
Exactly.
Put your hand in the ball, knock them down.
Exactly. And you may see somebody bowling two-handed. In his particular case, you don't see the lessons. You don't see the various instructions.
We talk about a Peter Fox, you know, the hard work that goes into it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I think people see on the house shot, people see the easiness of it because you can create more area, and the ball obviously goes to the pins. But at a tournament level, there's still a skill of learning how to bowl. I tell people all the time, anybody can throw a ball down the lane. That doesn't mean you know how to bowl.
Yeah.
Knowing how to bowl is the skill.
Big difference, yeah.
Absolutely.
Obviously, letting go of the ball the same way, different things. But knowing how to bowl, how to read the lanes, how to change your hand position, do all that stuff. That's the stuff like a Peter, yourself. I don't care if you put one hand, two hands. That's the skill.
Absolutely.
Because anybody can walk up and throw the ball down the lane, and they might be able to repeat shots a little bit.
Absolutely.
But how do you adjust? How do you pick the balls? How do you do all the intricacies that people don't understand that don't bowl?
That's very true. And when you start looking at these patterns and you understand the diagrams and what has to be done and how you figure out where to do what.
You still got to repeat it. You still got to be able to see it. And, yeah, there's so much to it. So
much more to it.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks for the answer.
Just get the whole.
You got it direct from the source.
Yep. The other way. There you go.
Just needed a direct answer.
There you go.
But, yeah, I mean, everybody's, yeah. I mean, I think in your father's case, like I said, if two-handed bowling wasn't around, he probably would have changed you.
Good chance that happened.
Good chance, but because two-handed bowling was beginning to be seen, so obviously if you said you started at 6, by the time you got to like 8, 9, 10, Belmo's first title was probably 15 years ago.
Yeah, so Belmo was
15,
around.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Or Oscu making a show, so you began to see it. So like I said, bowling's bowling. The way I look at bowling is, I said this to Alex a couple times, I don't care how you do it, I just want you to bowl. Because as long as you bowl, I have a business.
Listen,
if you don't bowl,
I'm in the same boat.
If you don't bowl, we don't have a business. And then the love that I have for the game is now gone because there's nothing to do. You know, and I just want it to be done. So
I agree.
I know we rambled here a lot, but
good.
We'll let you finish your shout-outs.
I mean, yeah, East Providence sponsors, NEBA, my parents, friends, family that watch, everybody that watches, everybody that texts and stays to watch. It wouldn't be possible without everybody that goes into running this. So, huge thank you.
So the final event of the year, big shout-out to Becky, Danny, Debbie.
Danny, I hope you feel better. Danny left early today,
yes.
so I hope you feel better,
hope
pal.
You feel better,
the whole NEBA staff. And a big shout-out, this was said earlier, Chris Viali.
Hell yeah.
Legend.
The years of service he's put into the club, amazing.
The energy that guy has.
And there's another guy, the love of bowling and this club. And again, he wasn't born here. I mean, not born. He wasn't raised in New England.
Yeah.
Came here. He has the same passion.
He's a New Yorker, like you guys.
Long Island,
New York.
Yes,
He's Islip guy.
You a Yankee or a Met?
Yankee.
God.
So
and you're happy with Judge's contract?
I think it's a little expensive,
good.
but
Yeah,
a little
good.
expensive.
I feel the same way about Xander Bogart, so.
Not fair enough.
So,
adios, Xander.
But like I said, so big shout out to Chris for the hard work he puts in.
Yeah,
he's a big reason we have the sponsors. I mean, I pick up some. He and I work together a lot on stuff, on the different
That whole
deals.
Cambridge sponsorship back in like 04 or
saved the
05,
club.
I've said it 1,000 times that guy.
So
and I know
in case you don't know,
put your money in.
He put 2,500 in a tournament for
Might have been 3,000 every single.
I feel like it was 2,500
Every event?
Every
for about
event.
a year and a half, 2
maybe
years.
more. Yeah.
Oh, I
At least
didn't know
2 years.
that.
Every single event.
And it got people to come out and bowl NEBA
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was wild.
I didn't know that. That's
and
incredible.
when you got that many people here, the bracket action was good.
Oh my
the
God!
Side pots
I used to
were
get in
good.
brackets. It was 100 every 100 brackets minimum a squad.
Yeah.
Oh my.
You fire in all of them.
Yeah, I get that things get expensive and life gets in the way, but one thing your generation doesn't do
They don't
is get
gamble.
inside action.
No gambling.
Yeah.
Your generation doesn't get inside action. You
Gambling
guys
stuff.
suck at that.
Gambling stopped at about 2000, 2001. It began like when the World Series of Poker began to really take off. It seemed like a downslide the other way.
It amazes me that people don't at least get inside pots. Like, it blows my mind.
I don't get inside pots.
Come on. I'll go in the side pots.
Yeah,
Brackets,
I was big.
most
brackets
people,
depends, but
Well,
How
we got to
can
wrap
you
this
not?
up.
You throw one of the most powerful balls here, and you're
I was
good.
big on us going to $100.
Me too.
And we'll go over this. And $5 because I think that was the best thing we did with the Masters event where everybody's in.
I would have been okay with $100 and $5 and like it's.
Because it
saying.
gives you something to bowl for every game.
there you go.
Instead
We
of people,
used to have, say again, going back to the old days, we used to have these little extra side pots, and they were running side pots. You used to have a 7-strike
well, yeah, we had a
jackpot
7
in
in a row
game 4.
jackpot. We had a striker
and then
9.
Striker 9 in
For the
game
last game,
5,
game 5.
which was game 5.
you had to strike out
get
the
a
10th.
9 spare or strike in every frame.
But then you have to strike out
But
the
in the
10th.
10th frame, you had to get all
All
3 in the
strikes.
10th.
Wow.
And it was harder to do. The lanes weren't as easy.
Well,
the
yeah, of
balls weren't
course.
as
It rolled
powerful.
over a lot, yep.
So you'd get a lot of times where the thing would be, a couple $1,000.
Oh,
You
yeah,
come
yeah.
back, the striker 9's worth a couple thousand, the 7-strike jackpot. Then as the lanes got easier, the striker 9 got hit more, the 7-strike
Sure.
went to 8-strike, the
Yeah.
8-strike went to
The
9-strike.
9, yeah.
So the only thing that I could see happening where we could build a side pot that accumulates, and maybe I'm crazy, but you'd have to run like a 50 clean pot. And then you got a lot of people who wouldn't get in, or you have to just
I
find
think I'd be out in frame 1.
no, or like a lot of these places do, and I know it's kind of like
Oh, the
bushwood type deal, but there's got to be like a strike
the jackpot.
jackpot. 4, you got to throw
Picking
20
the
strikes. For every game, you bowl 5 games, so every game, even if you just pick 3 frames or 4 frames that you have to strike in,
Yeah.
anybody would put in $1 or $2 or a few dollars to shoot for 3, 4, 5 grand.
Every
like.
time.
Cambridge, Massachusetts had a strike jackpot. It was the worst bowling center in America to try to
Is
strike
that the one
in.
I'm thinking of?
They're closed now.
The
That's
one I'm thinking of. The one that had duck pin on the bottom?
yeah,
right on
yeah,
top?
that one there. They filmed the movie Daddy's Home 2.
Yeah.
That's all filmed there.
I
and
went
then
and taught them how to drill balls.
right after that,
They
and
paid me a lot of money.
We took the drill press from there too. But
Good
they
for you.
filmed that movie. They
Wasn't
filmed
a
that
very good
movie,
press.
and then we fixed it. Don't worry. They
got paid
filmed
a
that
lot of
movie, and
money.
then they closed that.
They had a hotel right
Wow.
next door. They
Yeah.
put me in the courtesy hotel. They put me.
Dude, like that
They
place
paid me.
was-
They paid me for 3 days, and they paid me a lot. They brought MIT people there, and they filmed me on how to drill balls.
Wow.
There's more money in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
What was the name of that place? Now?
Lanes and Games.
Lanes and Games.
Lanes and Games.
Yeah,
and
they
that
had
place.
20 lanes upstairs or something like that. 20
Yeah, they had the
downstairs.
10-pin upstairs and the
candlepin.
candlepin
Candlepin?
downstairs.
Nice.
Yeah, candlepin downstairs.
Nice.
And they had this one spiral staircase
Yeah.
to get upstairs.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Try
a
bringing a
hassle.
drill press down a spiral staircase.
No, thank you.
You just throw it out the window.
That's what we
You're
should have
closing.
But again,
All right. Well, we got to wrap it up. but
listen,
we
great
can
bowling,
talk.
kid.
Alex and I, this is a
Thank
bad
you.
thing about you and I get
Yeah,
on the mic together.
We get on here and we talk for a while. But great bowling, dude.
Thank you.
That was very impressive. Hell of a
Appreciate it.
ball change again.
Let me just go through Bruce's notes here real quick. I just want to say we'll see everybody at East Haven for our season opening event, which is, I don't have my glasses on, January 14th and 15th. Many Styles of Bowling Open. Then we come here to back to East Providence on the 19th in February for the trios. I'm actually looking forward to the trios again. I have to find a new group because Andrew decided to win 2 titles.
I
Me
got to
too.
find a new group too, I think.
You and I can't bowl together. That sucks.
No.
So I'm trying to recruit some people from Pennsylvania.
Do it.
That could work.
Yeah, we lost when Stephen Major decided to go win TSC.
So shout out again. Thank you again to all the sponsors.
Thank you.
Again, thank you. Congratulations to
Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Zimmerman taking my money.
dinner on Zim.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where are we going, Zim? let me
Once
get
again,
a little
happy
less.
holidays to everybody.
Yes,
Merry
happy holidays,
Christmas,
everybody.
happy Hanukkah.
And with that
Thank
being said, we'll see everybody at Circle East Haven for 2023 season. I don't even know what year that would be. 60 what?
61, and the entire schedule is posted already.
The
It is
1000th
there.
event will happen at Callahan's Bowlorama with extra added money
Oh, no shit. That's a cool place.
in
to have it.
August. So we're really excited about that. So again, thank you all who stuck around to watch, and we'll see you in January. Happy holidays.
Thank you.